I mean, this is borderline embarrassing for a player of Hikaru's caliber. You'd think a guy rated 1500 had the black pieces. Nordebek Abdusatorov kicked off the game with white, pawn e4. It was at the recent USA versus Uzbekistan match, and Hikaru got pummeled in 22 moves, just like he did against Sindarov, but this time he puts the knight here. He went for a Petrov against Sindarov, Windarov. We get the Italian game, knight f6 from Hikaru, and now the knight attack, as they call it. I used to think this was the fried liver, but this is the fried liver. In a minute, it's coming. This is what Hikaru played. You intercept the attack of the bishop. White takes the pawn. Now, if you recapture with the knight here, itchy eye, sorry, then this can start the fried liver. White sacrifices the knight on f7, king recaptures, you get the check stuff, you step up to save the knight, and the game proceeds something like this. Just one sample here, some craziness, sometimes this never happens, or a d4 shot can come. White's usually destroying black. So, after captures, you don't normally get takes. This is the normal move. Again, not played. And the main line goes like this. Takes, pawn takes. And White's got three main moves here. Ways to respond. None of it played. Hikaru instead plays the wild pawn b5, known as the Ulvestad gambit. Something to that effect, pronounced like that. Very wild, very exciting. The big point is that if you take the pawn, black takes here and is having some fun. You hit the bishop, but you also hit the g2 pawn. This is key. So knight c3 isn't working so well. Black can take, it gets wild. If you take here, black's very happy. Bishop pair, open lines, castle queen side, all the fun that black is looking for, but there's a move here, which is a cold shower. It's bishop f1. Obviously, Nordebek knows this. I know this. So how is Hikaru expecting to get a 2700 in this kind of prep? By the way, if you want to know this stuff, obviously check out Lotus Chess. The link's below. It does openings, it does end games, and it now has a foundations course for those who are looking to build from the bottom up, learn chess for the first time. It really is awesome. They're now approaching 600,000 downloads of this incredible app in just a year. Do go and have a look. Now, why is this move so powerful? Well, the knight's still attacked. If you take with the queen, then you can go knight c3. Queen moves, and you can't stay on this diagonal. This is the point. The pawn's covered, and now white's just chilling. You take the pawn back this time, you're ready to castle, you're a pawn ahead, and you've got the better structure. So that's the problem. Black tries this. Hikaru, still a problem. Knight's attacked, but simply we get takes on b5. Take me, sure, but then I take you with check and a rook. So bishop b7 was played, and now queen h5. Protects this knight, also threatens mate, and if pawn g6 here, then there's queen f3. Again, if takes, there's bigger problems for black on these light squares. The weakened complex by the pawn b5 push. So let's run up to the game here, or run back. Queen d7 was played. It stops that checkmate in one threat. And Nordebek now just bringing the heat with the absolute best move. Pawn d4. He's up to about 3 minutes. Hikaru's at a minute and a half and burning more time and constantly looking away from the board, right? I mean, it does make me wonder, is the whole look away from the board thing part of some kind of modern spectacle to create an aura, be a bit dramatic? I'm not sure, because if you rewind to videos 5-10 years ago, Hikaru was locked in on the board, focused, but he's all over the place, staring around constantly these days. Maybe it's to genuinely remember his lines, but hot take from me, I think it's kind of for the cameras, for the drama, for the play, for the theatre. This is how the game proceeds anyway. Do let me know your thoughts, I'm sure you will. Takes on e5 was played, and it really is going from bad to worse. Hikaru is now 2 pawns down, and with a worse structure, and with a worse king. This is tough, and this is where he goes into absolute meltdown mode. Never seen anything like it at a top level game of chess. Best way to play here, queen f5, king b8, but you're 2 pawns down at the end of the day. So I understand Hikaru's desire to mix it up, and he starts with the move pawn to a6, and it's obviously just a shocker. Nodebek has a think, are there tricks here? What's going on? That's a free pawn, I'm going to capture it. What's your point? Yes, you've got knight d4 hitting the queen, which is defending the bishop, but this is check, of course. King recaptures, and queen e4. Wonderful, centralized lady, hitting a piece, pinning a piece, protecting a pawn, covering tons of squares that stop the black queen from activating. What you got here? Show me the money. Well, Hikaru plays the follow-up. Queen f5, giving another piece, which Nodebek gobbles up. Hikaru's now down to 10 seconds. He can't even take the knight because it's covered by the bishop here. So he goes knight b4, giving up another piece, a rook, undefended. Nodebek takes it off the board. Yes, you can check, but it leads nowhere. King e2, white's absolutely fine. King d1, I think also playable in the game. Bishop c5. Hikaru just sacrificing the entire house, his whole army. This is bonkers. But okay, this time you can't just start eating a rook. You will get checkmated here with all this stuff going on. You do have to look after your king for just a moment. Queen d2 playable, but even stronger is the move Nodebek finds. Queen f6. And you x-ray defend this pawn. Also pressure the rook, and if bishop takes with check, then the king can either go to e2, f1. Is d1 fine? Maybe not, because I suppose the queen crashes through, but you have options. Black has nothing. So let's back it up. Hikaru tries knight takes on c2 check. The king steps to the d file here, fearless and absolutely correct. You had to go somewhere, right? And now the follow-up move that Hikaru plays, not best. Apparently queen's off is, but that's because you want to keep it at +6 to white. You have to go for weirdness. Hikaru finds rook d8 check. Absolutely wild stuff. Giving a second rook to the white queen, with the idea being that now you can crash through with check. There's no x-ray defense here. What to do? King d1 played, best. King d3 also playable. Queen takes on g2, hits the rook in the corner, but cool and calm. How does Nodebek respond? Queen to d3. An excellent defensive move, also hints at some attacking stuff. Takes with check was played, but now the knight drops here on c2. And after bishop b6, stepping out of the way of some possible future check ideas, I guess, although the queen's on this diagonal right now, Hikaru resigned after 22 moves. Why? Well, he's 2 knights, a rook, and that's it, down. I was going to say pawns, but pawns are level. There is nothing. You can take and check. I mean, what to do, how to even suggest a move for black. The king's just consolidating, too much material. Hikaru is just dead. What an absolute embarrassment of a smash. But okay, he fought back. He did win one against Nodebek, and USA took it home in the end at the overall event level. Hope you enjoyed this one, short and sweet. Do check out Lotus Chess, it's fantastic. Honestly, I use it most days. And have a look at the video on screen if you want to see another epic game of chess. Cheers.